Hey guys, Ian lives. Welcome back to the podcast Ian Dies. It has been too long, not only since I've made a YouTube video, but since I've done a podcast. Ignore the bad mic. I know it does not sound good, but it is so much easier doing a podcast through this way. Because I get to have my phone because I'm not recording with it. But today, the podcast, you guys have read the title of it. We are going to be going over and talking about movies that I did not talk about because I did not upload. I've not uploaded in 4 months. Um, I said this in my vinyl video. There has not been a lot of movies that I've seen since I haven't uploaded. I have not had a lot of time. I've been working a lot on my mental, which was the reason why I took the break, is because I was kind of not depressed, but pretty close to it. um, I'm gonna spare you the details, but I was having a life crisis way too early in my life. Let's just say that. Um, anyways, I decided to just take a break from uploading, which was the best thing I could have done. I did not want to get burnt out on YouTube. I was watching way too many movies to where I couldn't comprehend what I was watching. And yeah, I had to take a break from movies. I've seen quite a bit, but not a lot. We're going to be talking about the ones that matter. We're going to be doing little reviews for them. There's going to be a lot of movies in here that you guys probably want to know my thoughts on because they were big releases. And I've been gone, of course. So the last movie I reviewed was Mads. I gave that a 4.5. By the way, I am using my Letterboxd. Follow my Letterboxd at wehateian. Because that is how I am keeping track of all this. I watched a movie from 2016 called Siren, which was the first VHS movie, the first segment with the vampire Batgirl. They made a movie about that segment, and it was horrible. I gave it a 1.5. I don't remember anything about it. I watched Stream. Stream was kind of a big deal in the horror community because it had a lot of the horror icons in it. I wish it would load. Don't you hate? Okay, it loaded. It loaded. It had Jeffrey Combs in it, Danielle Harris, Tim Reed, Dee Wallace, Tony Todd, R.I.P. by the way. I don't know if I've uploaded since he passed. David Howard Thornton, Mark Holton, Tim Curry, Daniel Roebuck. Like, this is literally like the Avengers of horror. It was okay. The gore was really good. It's over 2 hours long, and it was a lot of sequel bait. I don't really like when movies are baits for the sequel. I also binge watched the Paranormal Activity franchise, which I surprisingly loved. I love found footage. I don't like ghost movies. I didn't know how I would enjoy this franchise. I ended up really liking it. I was supposed to make a ranking, but then I ended up taking a hiatus, of course. But Paranormal Activity 3 is one of the best found footage movies I've seen, period. But yeah, not much to say there. Asriel, this was a new Shudder original that came out with the Queen Samara Weaving. This was one of my highest anticipated of the year. I think I talked about it a couple of times, talking about how I was really excited for it. It was okay. The gimmick of the movie is nobody talks, and I kind of wish it went further than that. The plot was kind of weird. I watched Donnie Darko for the first time. I really enjoyed it. Very weird, very bizarre, unique movie. I love how it's open-ended. Jake Gyllenhaal did great in it. Drew Barrymore's in it. Patrick Swayze's in it. He plays a pedophile teacher, which was insane and funny. I really like Donnie Darko. New Hulu original called Carved that I thought was surprisingly pretty good. Like little retro slasher horror comedy that I thought was really funny. DJ Qualls was in it, which is like a deep cut actor. He did stuff in like the early 90s. and he was really good in this movie. Also, this weird guy from Stranger Things. Can you see him? That weird guy from Stranger Things was in this movie, and he was also funny in it. So yeah, I liked Carved quite a bit. Um, and this is like the biggest heavy hitter, which I'm gonna talk about a lot. I might still make a video on it. I might. The Substance. I watched it. I talked about this in the last podcast episode where I was like, this seems like it'll be my movie of the year. Like I can just feel it. It wasn't. I saw the TV Glow still took the crown for that, but yeah, The Substance was insane. Insane movie. I've already seen it 3 times. I own it on 4K. I'm probably gonna watch it again so that I can do an actual video on it. But it's literally everything I love. It's like the 80s sleaze, practical effects, body horror, dark humor, amazing acting performances, a compelling story with amazing metaphors, and amazing gore and cinematography. And it's like everything in that movie, it was like right up my alley. Yeah. Not that the Oscars matter. But I would have taken that over Anora, but I am going to talk about Anora. So I won't say too much about that. I also watched I think this is a French movie. Let me double check. Humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person. Yeah, that's a long ass title. This movie came out either last year or the year before. And I heard a lot of things about it, but it was like stuck in limbo. It came out in festivals, then it came out in theaters in like the UK and in France, of course. It didn't hit America digitally until like 4 or 5 months ago. So when I got the free trial for Mubi to watch The Substance, I also watched this vampire movie that I actually thought was really funny. It's a very quirky, dark comedy about this vampire who has to drink blood. It's like when you go, like the rules of this movie is if you're a vampire, when you go through puberty, you get your fangs, and like you have to drink. I forgot what the plot was. Like you have to drink blood or you die or something like that. You have to kill somebody. But she doesn't want to kill somebody. Until she finds this guy who wants to kill himself, and then she's like, okay, well this is perfect because he already wants to die. But then they end up forming like a bond, and it's really funny. It's really cute. It's really charming. I really enjoyed it. Netflix original Don't Move, very generic, boring thriller that I don't even think I finished. Time Cut, holy, this movie was awful. Another Netflix original that came out during Halloween. Yeah, this movie sucks. It's literally a horrible version of Totally Killer. It's the horror time travel hybrid, but done really bad. Really poorly. I think I'm going through these too fast. I need to slow down. Or we're not going to have a full podcast episode. Jesus, I'm not used to doing YouTube anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. But Time Cut. This is my review. I said, trust me, I didn't go into this expecting a masterpiece, but I'm so surprised by how bad this thing was. It felt like a Disney Channel movie, and I mean that in the worst way possible. Just watch Totally Killer. It's the same concept as Time Cut, but done so much better. Very disappointed in this one. WTF was that? It did feel like a Disney Channel movie. The acting was so bad. And there was like this weird... Okay, it's going to sound bad, but there was this character who just happened to be lesbian. But the way that they forced it into the plot felt like they were... It feels like how boomers think movies are nowadays. Oh, they're so woke, there's always a gay character. This movie feels like that, where like there's just a gay character just for there to be a gay character. Like her being a lesbian adds nothing to the story, and they talk about it so freaking much. It's like it doesn't... That movie was just bad. And then I went to the theaters and I saw Saturday Night, which was the SNL movie. The movie about SNL. about the premiere of SNL. I'm not an SNL guy. I don't know like anything about it. That was more my dad's thing, and he wanted to see it, so we all went to the theater and saw it, and it was so good. Like this is such a good movie. I just rewatched it the other night because they put it on Netflix. Um, I love it so much. It's directed by Jason Reitman, who did Juno and a bunch of other movies that I love. And the cast is perfection. The people who portrayed these comedians did such a good job. Um, Especially the guy who did Chevy Chase and the guy who did Dan Aykroyd. They did phenomenal as them. And the movie's hilarious. It was really good. It was a fun watch with the family. And then I wanted to watch some more Japanese horror, so I watched Audition, which was suggested to me a bunch. Um, a very, very, very slow burn, where like nothing happens until the final 20 minutes. But holy shit, that climax, dude. Wow. I can't believe this movie was made in 1999 and has the gore level of that. Like, Japan does not fool around when it comes to this stuff. That scene with, like, the wire, like, Jesus, dude. But the lead up to it, the first half of the movie, teeters on boring. I hate to say it, but, like, it's a good movie, it's well made, and that ending is, like, what the hell? You know? But I really enjoyed it. Taxi Driver I watched finally. You know how many times people have been like, "You haven't seen Taxi Driver? What the hell?" Martin Scorsese is a director that I have not dove into. I've seen maybe 2 movies from him, maybe 3. Which I think we might get to another one soon. Because I was like, I need to watch more Scorsese. Because people say that he's like the best man on earth. Yeah, Taxi Driver was phenomenal. I don't have any issues with it. I'm mad at myself for just not watching it because it is literally like right up my alley. I love the gritty New York movies. My favorite movie of all time is Maniac. Like, come on. I like the gritty New York. I like the character studies. Literally everything I like about movies is in Taxi Driver. And why the hell was I so stubborn into watching it? I was like, oh, it's another nerdy film school movie. But no, it's like actually as good as people make it out to be. Robert De Niro. I mean, come on. Come on. Be real. Next up, I watched the original Ringu. I thought it was really good. I think I like the remake more, though. Midnight Meat Train. What was this movie? I don't really remember. Oh yeah, this was the one with Bradley Cooper, where he was like a photographer, and he like started finding clues to this serial killing. Like he found this serial killer, and the serial killer was, killing people, that type of thing. It came out in 2008. It feels very 2008. There's like bad 3D CGI blood. Ted Raimi's in it, and he gets his eyeballs punched out of his head, so that's cool. Like, it feels very retro. Like, they were trying to do, like, a cheesy 80s thing, and it works. It's very weird that Bradley Cooper's in it. But it was decent. It's a cool movie. Black Cab. This was a new Shudder original that came out with Nick Frost, out of all people. I love Nick Frost. I was excited for this. It started off really good, a fun little comedy thriller where Nick Frost is this cab driver and he kidnaps this girl. And then it turned into like a ghost movie with spirits and stuff. No, thank you. Yeah, no. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad, but then I got into my comedy era. I started watching comedy movies that people have been telling me to watch forever. I watched Tropic Thunder. Yeah, Yeah, a lot of people told me that this movie was like one of the funniest comedies ever. Very praised. I watched it. I thought it was really good. It's clever. They're making fun of movies. Robert Downey Jr. plays a black guy, and it's hilarious. Yeah, there's not much to say about this movie that hasn't been said. I understand why people love Tropic Thunder. I thought it was really funny, and I'm surprised it's taken me this long to watch it because I'm a huge Jack Black fan, and he's amazing in this movie. And a very good comedy movie. Then I watched The Other Guys because that's one of my mom's favorites, and she always tells me to watch that movie. This is the movie with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. Really good, really funny. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the buddy comedies, kind of like 21 Jump Street and like Superbad, where like you just have like a two or more friends just like goofing around, and it's funny. I'm a huge fan of Will Ferrell. I don't really like Mark Wahlberg. Um, he's not a good actor. I don't find him super funny. He kind of just comes across as a douche and a dick, and that's not really funny to me. I like when he plays an idiot, kind of like in this movie where he's not the idiot. Will Ferrell's the idiot. He's like the funny guy who doesn't know what he's doing and he's scared of everything. Will Ferrell's not like, or Mark Wahlberg isn't any smarter in this movie. Like he thinks he's smart, but he's not. I don't know. Um, but yeah, The Other Guys, really funny movie. I like the whole bit with Michael Keaton where he just says TLC song titles. That was funny. I like that one a lot. I also loved when Will Ferrell kept playing that song on the radio. I forgot what the hell it was called, but it was so funny how he had like multiple of the same CD. Will Ferrell's hilarious in that movie. Then I watched Hot Fuzz for the first time, believe it or not. I'm a huge fan of Shaun of the Dead, and yet it took me this long to finish off the Cornetto trilogy. Like, what the hell was I smoking? Hot Fuzz, holy, what a fun movie, man. I wish it went further than what it did. The twist was kind of obvious. Well, it's not obvious because it was weird, but like it was kind of like dumb. But it can work because it's a comedy. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's some funny ass bits in here with that goose when they're chasing it around. When they keep calling him Angle instead of Angel. There's some funny stuff in this movie, like laugh out loud funny. Then I watched The World's End, which I didn't really care for. I'm sorry. Easily my least favorite of the Cornetto trilogy. World's End is there's too many ideas going around. It's Edgar Wright trying to do like a funny horror comedy again, but with like a sci-fi twist. Simon Pegg is unbelievably insufferable in this movie. His character is so annoying, which I know that's what they were going for, but holy shit. Is that guy just annoying to be around? Yeah, I don't know. Very weird movie that, like, it never grabbed me with its concept. It never grabbed me. Like, oh, there's robots with blue blood. Like, eh. Are you gonna do something more than that? No. Okay, whatever. I guess that's fine. New horror comedy with Melissa Barrera called Your Monster. This was marketed as like the horror version of Beauty and the Beast, which at first I was like, that sounds kind of dumb. You guys are really milking the whole horror movie hybrid thing. That has been trendy with like Freaky and Totally Killer and Happy Death Day, where you merge like Groundhog Day in a horror movie, and you merge Freaky Friday in a horror movie. This one is Beauty and the Beast in a horror movie, but it's like really smart, and they do things that I wasn't expecting them to do. Melissa Barrera easily brings her best performance that we've seen from her so far. Yes, it's better than her performance in Abigail. Yes, it's better than her performances in the Scream movies. She brings so much raw emotion to this movie. The story is very heartwarming, yet hilarious. How she has this monster who is like just a douchebag, and he's very mean, but he's very funny. And I Thought You're a Monster was fantastic. I see where people complain with how it kind of turned into like a stage play musical toward the end, which it does, which is pretty insane how it turns into like a play. I thought it was cool, but some people thought it was forced. I finally watched Prey, the Predator movie, Prey. Um, Again, don't know why it took me this long to watch this. It's a prequel to the Predator franchise that takes place with like Native Americans, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think it's Native Americans. This movie was really good though. Like it's on the edge of your seat, intense, almost like a cat and mouse chase the whole time, where this girl is like just trying to hunt this thing that she has no idea. I really like the scenery. I like the concept. And apparently they're doing another one this year, I believe, called Badlands. I'm excited for that. Continuing my comedy era, The Big Lebowski, another big one I'm etching off my watch list. As you guys can tell, I wasn't watching a lot of horror movies because I did not want to burn myself out. You can only handle so much horror. I think even horror fans can admit that. When you watch more than 4 B movies a day, it's very taxing. At least it was for me. So I had to switch it up just a little bit. The Big Lebowski was damn near perfect. I mean, it's so funny. Dude, what the hell is his name? John Goodman. He stole the show for me. He's so funny in this movie. So is Steve Buscemi and, of course, Jeff Bridges. But, like, Jesus Christ, John Goodman was so funny in this movie. That whole scene where they have to throw the money... What was it? It was something to do with a bridge. And he put, like, socks in it or something. That scene was hilarious. And any of the scenes that were in the bowling alley were funny, too. I loved The Big Lebowski. Why did it take me this long to watch it? There has to be a different way for you guys to tell me to watch movies. The 40-Year-Old Virgin might be my favorite comedy that I watched during this era. I loved it. I loved that movie to death. I watched Ted. I thought it was okay. Ted 2, not very good. I watched Goodfellas for the first time. Holy shit. That movie is a masterpiece. I know where you guys are coming from now. Then I immediately watched Casino, and I thought it was good, but not as good as Goodfellas. I watched Plane, Trains, and Automobiles for Thanksgiving time. That movie was really funny. It was a good watch with the family. I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for the first time. Thought it was really good. New Christmas movie with Ben Stiller called Nutcrackers. I thought it was meh. New Christmas movie with Jack Black called Dear Santa, which I thought was pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I'll talk about this one. Smile 2. Smile 2, baby. The biggest horror surprise of last year. Smile 1. Very mediocre. I don't like that movie that much. I had no excitement for Smile 2 whatsoever. I ended up watching it because people were talking about it, and oh my god. I gave it a 4.5. I was not expecting that. I was expecting to give this movie a 2. Max. 2. I gave it a 4.5. The cinematography is incredible. The horror in this movie is incredible. Smile 2 is so damn good. One of my favorite horror movies of last year, and I can't believe I'm saying that. I had no expectations for Smile 2. And again, like The Substance, I want to make a whole video about Smile 2, because there's so much for me to talk about. New Christmas horror movie, Carnage for Christmas. It was okay. The Family Man Christmas movie with Nick Cage. Pretty cool, but got kind of stale. Quick. Christmas horror movie, A Creature Was Stirring. Not good. That has the chick from the Rob Zombie Halloween. What the hell is her name? Scout Taylor Compton. Yeah, that movie was dumb. A Christmas Karen. Surprisingly really funny. Like, I was expecting it to be trash, and it wasn't. It was actually pretty good. Um, The Craft Legacy. Yeah. This is the sequel to The Craft. It's kind of a remake. So bad. Blumhouse, what were you doing? Because The Craft Legacy sucks horribly. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I love Gideon Adlon as an actress. Is that how you pronounce her name? I love her as an actress, but she was so bad in this movie. Her character was insufferable. I wanted to shut off the TV every time she spoke. I watched Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. What a weird ass movie, but like weirdly fascinating. I gave it a 3.5. I'm not blown away about it, like other people are, but I still think it's really good. Um, yeah, there's not much to say about it. I think Eyes Wide Shut, very ahead of its time. Obviously, Stanley Kubrick, he's a weirdo. He likes to do weird things, and he likes to make movies that hold your interest, that you follow completely, but by the end of it, on first watch, you're like, what the hell did I watch? That type of thing. Um, After I finished watching Eyes Wide Shut, I was like, I can't really say what this movie's about. Like, I don't even know. But it was good. Like, it's weird. I watched The Thing 2011. This is like the prequel thing that they did. Very bad. Um, who thought it was a good idea to make a Thing movie with CGI? Yeah, let's just take away everything that makes The Thing iconic. And let's add in shitty 2011 CGI. Because people will love that. It looks horrible, dude. And I don't even like the story that they were trying to go with, where at the end of the movie they show the place that's in the original, even though that's a remake. Yeah, whatever. Mediocre. Don't care. Last Night in Soho, I finally watched Edgar Wright. Very highly praised horror movie that he did. I thought it was great. I really, really, really liked it. It has a lot of love-hate, and I understand that. It's very weird, especially for Edgar Wright. Like, there's like no comedy in it whatsoever, which is very different from his other movies. And I understand that. It's like you really have to be on board to enjoy it. The concept is so weird and sometimes confusing because you're going into dream, then reality, then dream, then reality, then dream, then reality. Then you get like twist upon twist upon twist. At times it can feel overbearing and overwhelming. But overall, I thought the movie was great. New Shudder thriller horror, Last Straw. It was okay. I was expecting it to be bad because Shudder, honestly, I don't even trust them anymore. A lot of their more recent originals have been bad. To the point where I haven't even been watching the new originals that have come out. That one with the guy from GTA who's like a wrestler, that movie looks horrible. I have no interest in watching it. And there's other movies that have been put on there that I just don't have an interest in watching. Just because they've had such a bad track record lately. But Last Straw was cool because the first half of the movie happens, and then the second half of the movie is the same exact thing that you just saw, but from a different person's perspective. And I really liked how they did that. I thought it was really well done. Moving on, I watched the Trailer Park Boys Christmas special on Christmas Day with the family. I love Trailer Park Boys. They're hilarious. And that was really funny. Then I watched Night Bitch. Oh my god, this movie was bad. I'm sorry. I heard a little bit of things about Night Bitch. It's got Amy Adams, horror comedy based off a book that I knew nothing about. I went to it completely blind. I was expecting like a creature feature where a girl turns into a dog. That's not what this is. It's a metaphor about parenting that just did nothing for me. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on Night Bitch, but no thank you. I did not like it. Then I watched Ghost World. This is a 2001 indie comedy with Scarlett Johansson and Steve Buscemi. Really good movie. I loved it a lot. It was very quirky, and I had a lot of fun with it. Moving on, I watched Lars and the Real Girl. I was kind of in my indie movie era. This is with Ryan Gosling, and I was kind of expecting like a dark comedy, which it is, but it's like depressing as hell. It made me very sad because I also kind of related to it, like not having, like wanting love so bad that you like find an alternative that's like isn't healthy for you. Like he falls in love with a mannequin. That's how sad and desperate he was. Then I watched Smiley Face with Anna Faris. Very weird and almost like a overly obnoxious, quirky little movie. Um, but it was really cool. It's a stoner comedy, but heightened to like a million. Like it's very in your face and obnoxious. And Anna Faris is Anna Faris times 100. Then I watched Anora, which #2 movie of the year for me next to The Substance. Yeah, Anora blew me away. I'm glad that it won movie of the year. I am at the Oscars. I am. The Substance should have got The Substance. Demi Moore should have got actress. I love you, Mikey Madison. You did phenomenal in Anora, but yeah, Anora, such a. I love Sean Baker. I love how he can mix drama and comedy and like sex, like sexual stuff, in a very interesting way. Tangerine, phenomenal. Florida Project, phenomenal. Anora, instant masterpiece. Like, I need to watch Red Rocket. That's what it's called, right? That was the other movie he's done. I haven't seen that one yet. Then I watched Y2K, horror comedy from A24 about what if Y2K really happened. Fred Durst is in it, plays himself. Some funny moments. I gave it a 3.5. I thought it was pretty fun. You can't go into it. Like, people really shit on this movie. And it's like, what were you expecting? I know it's A24, but like, A24 has done very campy horror comedies before. You should have known what you were getting into. It's directed by Kyle frickin' Mooney. What did you want from this thing? Like, honestly, I don't understand. Then I watched The Thicket, which is a Western movie with Julianne Lewis and the little dwarf guy. What's his name? Peter Dinklage. It was good, surprisingly. It's a Tubi original, and it was good for a Tubi original. Then I watched DD, which was a little indie coming-of-age movie that came out last year. Takes place during the 90s. I thought it was really cute and charming about like a young teenage boy, like 12 years old, like discovering the internet, like when YouTube was first coming out, and trying to fit in and the struggles with that. Wanting to find love and struggling to keep love. And I thought it was very well written. And then I watched Afraid, which was another Blumhouse stinker, about AI being evil. It's about like an evil Alexa. Yeah, sounds very good, doesn't it? Such a bad movie that like at points fully rips off the movie Us. Also, I don't know where I heard this from, don't quote me, but I heard that it used AI in the movie. Like, to make the movie, they used AI. Like, how ironic is that? And how stupid is Blumhouse? You're going to make a movie about how AI is evil, and yet you're going to put AI in your movie? Then I watched A Real Pain with Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. Two actors I love, so I was very excited to get into this movie, and I loved it. I thought it was very, it's one of those feel-good, sad comedies about two brothers trying to bond. Two very different brothers trying to bond over something. They go to like this Jewish tourist thing where they go to all these like landmarks and for the Holocaust and stuff. And Kieran Culkin deserved that damn Oscar. I was so happy for him. He stole the show, playing the obnoxious, quirky brother who does not know when to shut the hell up. But also you like really feel bad for his character. Then I watched The Punk Singer, which is a documentary about Kathleen Hanna. If you don't know who Kathleen Hanna is, she is a singer-musician who formed the group Bikini Kill, basically started the Riot Girl movement in the early to mid-90s, which is like a feminist punk thing ran by females that happened. And she also ran the group Le Tigre. Two bands that are some of my favorite bands of all time. I live and breathe Bikini Kill. I love their music, and same with Le Tigre. And I was getting really heavy into them, so I wanted to check out this documentary, and it was very insightful, very interesting, very cool to learn how the band formed, how Kathleen Hanna was like the weird, like loud, quirky feminist kid in college who like didn't even sing. And one of the girls wanted to start a band and just chose Kathleen Hanna and was like, I'm going to make her the singer, even though she had no background in singing. It's crazy how they just like up and formed a band and then they became like a movement. It's insane. Then I wanted to start the entire MCU. I was like, I just want to watch shitty superhero movies and some good superhero movies. I'm just going to watch the entire MCU. Yeah, I watched Iron Man and Incredible Hulk. I thought Incredible Hulk was boring, so I quit. Yeah. Then I watched Heretic, a 24 horror thriller movie with, what's his name? Hugh Grant? It's Hugh Grant, right? Hugh Grant. Sophie Thatcher. Yeah, really, 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 really good movie. I really loved it. I loved Heretic. I thought it was really good. About these two, like, Jehovah's Witness people, girls, who are going to everybody's house to try to convert them into the church and whatever. And they go to this guy's house, Hugh Grant. And that's all I'm going to say. I thought the movie was written phenomenally. The movie tackles like religion beliefs and arguments about all this stuff, and it was very smartly written. It felt like a genius wrote it. Like how like some of the stuff that Hugh Grant talks about is like, whoa, like this movie is written perfectly. There's the word, perfectly, not perfectionally. Ian, Jesus Christ, Hugh Grant. Probably the best role of his career. Not gonna lie. And I liked how the ending left it to interpretation. You can take it any way you want. Did it happen? Did it not happen? I like movies like that, and I like when they don't force it too hard. And yeah, really cool. There's some good moments in it. There's some funny moments in it. Yeah. And then I just started rewatching a bunch of movies. I rewatched The Substance. I rewatched Saturday Night. I rewatched The Menu for the first time. I rewatched it since it came out. I'm not huge on The Menu. I've learned that. The first time around, I thought it was good. Second time around, I thought it was okay. Yeah, people love The Menu. People rave about The Menu. It's a horror comedy masterpiece. It's Anya Taylor-Joy's best performance. It's, what's his fate? Voldemort, dude. It's his best performance. It's a good movie, but it's long. It's a slow burn. It sometimes feels pretentious, like it's trying too hard. There's a lot of parts about The Menu I don't love. And then last but not least, the most recent movie I watched and the most recent movie to release, Presence. This was a neon movie directed by Steven Soderbergh. This was his horror movie where it is a haunted house ghost demon possession. Well, not demon possession, but it's a haunted house ghost movie where this family moves into a house that has a ghost in it. But the twist is the whole entire movie, you are watching it from the ghost's POV. So the camera's like flying around. Very cool cinematography. But everything else about this movie was kind of lackluster. It disappointed me a lot. I thought the acting was pretty bad. I hated the ending. I thought the ending was abysmal. The whole entire direction that they go in with this movie, focusing on one character, so dumb. Like, it felt like they were trying so hard to not focus on the ghost aspect when that's literally the whole entire core of the movie. It's like you can't just like focus on a ghost, the origins of the ghost, the parents trying to figure out where this ghost came from and all this stuff and like why it's haunting them, and then it just jumps into this twist that has nothing to do with ghosts, and it's like, what the hell happened? I hated the final act. The movie was okay. I gave it 3 stars. I wanted to love it. I didn't love it. And that is the podcast episode. Oh, wow. That's a lot of talking. That is a lot of talking. I just went over every single movie I watched while I was not uploading. Hopefully I'm uploading again. As I said in my previous video, I don't want to say that I'm back because that's a lot of commitment. And I'm also not going to immediately hop back on the Monday and Friday upload schedule that I was doing. Because I have a job now. Don't know if I said that yet. And I usually work nights. I always work nights. I don't know why I said usually. So I don't have much time to watch movies. I just don't. And I don't have much motivation. I just don't. I'm trying to get better at all that. I am. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast Ian Dies. I hope you guys are excited that I'm back. Finally, your favorite YouTuber is back. I'm kidding, but also not really. Let me know some movies that I still need to watch. And let me know a movie on here that I should just make an entire video about. I'm already planning on doing that for The Substance, and I want to do it for Smile 2 as well. So yeah. That was Ian Dies. That was Ian Lives. Follow the Instagram at IanLives_. Follow the Letterboxd at wehateian. And I absolutely love you guys. Peace.